Chosen one, be still for a moment, because what I am about to tell you will shift everything. You thought the silence meant I forgot you. You thought the delay meant denial. You thought the closed doors were punishment. But I was positioning you. They laughed when you struggled. They whispered when you were isolated. They watched you fight battles you never spoke about. I saw every tear, every betrayal, every night you almost gave up. You were not under attack because you are weak. You were under attack because you are marked. And now, brace yourself. A powerful person is about to step into your life, not by coincidence, not by luck, by my design. An offer is forming behind doors you cannot see. Conversations are happening with your name in them. Favor is being released in secret. Stay watching, because what is coming will not just bless you. It will silence everything that tried to break you. Chosen one. You thought they rejected you because you were not enough. But the truth is they felt you were too much. Too different. Too intense. Too cold. You walked into rooms carrying something you could not explain. A weight, a presence, a quiet authority that made insecure hearts tremble. They could not name it, but they felt it. Your destiny disturbed their comfort. Your vision exposed their limitations. Your hunger for more revealed their fear of growth. So they pushed you away. They excluded you. They misunderstood you on purpose. And you went home wondering what was wrong with you. Nothing was wrong with you. I placed something rare inside of you. A fire that does not blend in. A calling that does not shrink to fit small spaces. You were never meant to be tolerated. You were meant to be set apart. The rejection was not a sign of your weakness. It was confirmation of your weight. Oil attracts pressure. Favor attracts envy. Assignment attracts opposition. They felt your future before it arrived. When you spoke, it carried conviction. When you dreamed, it sounded impossible. When you tried to belong, your spirit refused to compromise. You were different because I marked you. And when destiny is on someone's life, those who are comfortable with average will feel threatened. It hurt you deeply. I know it did. The silence at family gatherings, the friends who slowly disappeared, the doors that closed without explanation. You cried and asked me, why am I always the one left out? But I was protecting the seed inside you. Some environments cannot nurture greatness. Some circles cannot handle elevation. Some people reject what they secretly know will outgrow them. If they had embraced you, they would have limited you. If they had celebrated you, they might have controlled you. So I allowed the rejection, not to wound you, but to free you. You were never supposed to shrink to make others comfortable. You were never designed to dim your light so insecure hearts could rest. You are called to build, to lead, to break patterns, to shift atmospheres. And that kind of assignment comes with loneliness before it comes with applause. The same people who distanced themselves will one day say they always believed in you. The same voices that doubted will grow silent when I lift you publicly. Because rejection is often the first sign of selection. I removed you before they could redefine you. I isolated you before they could dilute you. I separated you before they could distract you. What felt like abandonment was alignment. Chosen one, stop asking why they left. Start understanding why you were marked. You were rejected because your destiny made others uncomfortable. And soon, the same destiny that made them uneasy will make the world pay attention. Chosen one. I saw the nights you sat alone in that quiet room, phone silent, messages unanswered, invitations that never came. You called it abandonment. You called it loneliness. You thought I had stepped back from you. But I was drawing you closer. The isolation was not a punishment, it was preparation. There are seasons when I remove the noise so you can hear me clearly. Seasons when I strip away distractions so you can see who you really are. Seasons when I separate you from familiar faces because your next level cannot be reached with your old environment. You felt cut off, but you were being carved out. I had to pull you away from opinions that were shrinking you, from conversations that were draining you, from expectations that were suffocating you. You were too connected to voices that could not understand your assignment, too available to people who benefited from your smallness. So I allowed the silence. It hurt. Yes, it hurt. You watched others celebrate together while you built alone. You saw friendships fade without closure. You felt forgotten in rooms where you once felt seen. But what you didn't see was the construction happening inside you. Isolation is where I strengthen foundations. It is where I mature your spirit. It is where I teach you to depend on me instead of applause. When no one claps, you learn conviction. When no one checks in, you learn endurance. When no one understands you, you learn identity. You thought you were hidden, but you were being refined. Diamonds are formed under pressure. Leaders are formed in solitude. Destiny is shaped in quiet seasons that nobody applauds. If I had elevated you too soon, you would have leaned on the wrong people. If I had opened doors too early, you would have carried insecurity into rooms meant for authority. So I kept you separate. Not because you were forgotten, but because you are chosen. There are heights your old circle could not climb. There are rooms your past relationships could not enter. There are blessings that require a version of you that only isolation could produce. You call it loneliness. I call it transformation. In the silence, I built your confidence. In the waiting, I built your discipline. In the separation, I built your strength. You were never alone. You were under construction. And now, you are stronger than you were when they left. More focused than you were when they doubted you. More aligned than you were when you tried to fit in. The isolation was not abandonment. It was divine separation for elevation. I had to remove you from what was familiar to introduce you to what is destined. And when I lift you, you will realize the quiet season was the very thing that prepared you to stand without fear at the height I always planned for you. Chosen one, you thought the battles were random. You thought the chaos was coincidence. You thought life was just being unfair. But the warfare intensified for a reason. Before you ever understood your calling, the enemy sensed it. Before you believed you were chosen, darkness detected the mark on your life. That is why the attacks started early. That is why rejection followed you. That is why doors slammed shut without warning. You were fighting battles that didn't match your age, carrying weights that didn't match your experience, enduring storms that didn't match your mistakes. And you kept asking, why me? Because of what is in you. There is a sound in your spirit that threatens darkness. There is authority in your voice that disrupts chains. There is influence in your future that the enemy fears. Hell does not attack what is harmless. It does not war against what is ordinary. It does not waste resources on the irrelevant. The intensity of the fight was confirmation of the size of your assignment. Think about it. Why did confusion try to cloud your mind so often? Why did discouragement visit you at your strongest moments? Why did betrayal show up right when you were about to rise? Because every time you got close to discovering who you are, opposition tried to push you back into doubt. The warfare was strategic. It wanted you tired. It wanted you insecure. It wanted you questioning your worth. If it could not destroy your destiny, it would try to distract you from it. You survived things that should have broken you. You endured storms that should have swallowed you. You walked through fire and somehow came out with more strength than scars. Do you think that was luck? No. You were protected because you are appointed. Every attack you overcame built muscle in your spirit. Every tear you cried sharpened your discernment. Every setback deepened your resilience. The enemy recognized your calling before you did, but it underestimated your endurance. It saw the crown before you ever imagined wearing it. It sensed the impact before you believed you could make one. It felt the shift your obedience would create, so it attacked early. But here is what it did not understand. Pressure does not cancel purpose. Warfare does not erase calling. Attack does not mean defeat. It means you matter. You are not crazy for feeling like your life has been a battlefield. You are not dramatic for sensing spiritual resistance. You are marked. And now that you are awakening to who you are, the fear is no longer yours. It belongs to the darkness that failed to stop you. Chosen one, the same warfare that tried to bury you has trained you to stand. And the calling that hell recognized before you did is about to manifest in a way that makes every battle make sense. Chosen one. That betrayal did not break you by accident. It cut deep, deeper than you expected, deeper than you admitted. You trusted them. You defended them. You let them see parts of you no one else had access to. And when they turned on you, it felt like the ground disappeared beneath your feet. You questioned your discernment. You questioned your kindness. You even questioned me. But listen carefully. Every betrayal was a pruning season, not a permanent sentence. You thought it was the end of something beautiful. I knew it was the removal of something limiting. Pruning is painful. It feels like loss. It looks like damage. But it is strategic. A branch must be cut back to grow stronger. Dead weight must be removed for fruit to multiply. Hidden disease must be exposed before health can return. That person did not betray you because you were foolish. They betrayed you because their role in your life had expired. If they had stayed, they would have slowed your growth. If they had remained loyal, they might have remained small. You were outgrowing them. And when people sense they can no longer control your direction, some choose to wound what they cannot keep. The betrayal felt personal, but it was positional. I was shifting you. You cried over losing them. I was protecting you from losing yourself. You mourned the friendship, the relationship, the connection. I saw the future you are stepping into, and they did not fit there. Not everyone assigned to your past is qualified for your destiny. You call it heartbreak, I call it refinement. That betrayal forced you to see clearly. It sharpened your discernment. It strengthened your boundaries. It taught you that your value does not decrease because someone mishandled you. They did not define your worth. They revealed their capacity. And I allowed it not to shame you, but to shape you. Because there is elevation ahead. There are rooms coming that require wisdom. There are partnerships coming that require maturity. If I had not pruned you then, you would have carried fragile trust into powerful spaces. The cut was necessary. It created space for healthier connections. It created hunger for deeper alignment. It created dependence on me instead of people. You survived the betrayal, and you did not become bitter, you became stronger. That is growth. Chosen one, stop replaying the wound. Stop rehearsing the pain. The season of pruning is over. What felt like an ending was preparation for abundance. You were not sentenced to permanent loss. You were being prepared for permanent growth. And what is coming into your life next will not betray you, it will match the strength that the pruning produced in you. Chosen one. I heard you every time you whispered my name into the dark. Every prayer, every tear, every desperate, why won't you answer me? You thought my silence meant distance. You thought it meant disappointment. You thought I had stepped back because you failed. But my silence was never punishment. It was preparation. There are seasons when I speak loudly, and there are seasons when I work quietly. You were waiting for a voice while I was building capacity. You were asking for instructions while I was strengthening endurance. If I had answered you too quickly, you would have moved too soon. If I had revealed everything at once, you would have been overwhelmed by the weight of it. So I let the silence stretch you. In that quiet place, you faced yourself. Your fears surfaced. Your insecurities spoke. Your doubts became loud. But instead of destroying you, they exposed what still needed healing. Silence reveals what noise hides. When there was no applause, you learned discipline. When there was no reassurance, you learned faith. When there was no visible progress, you learned trust. You thought I wasn't responding, but I was rearranging. Behind the scenes, doors were shifting. Hearts were being prepared. Opportunities were aligning. You were measuring my presence by noise, but my greatest works are often silent. Seeds grow underground before they ever break the surface. Foundations are laid beneath the ground before buildings rise. And you, chosen one, were being rooted. If I had lifted you during that impatient season, you would have depended on validation. If I had promoted you during that fragile moment, you would have collapsed under criticism. So I kept quiet. Not because I was angry, not because I was absent, but because I was strengthening you in ways applause never could. You grew in that silence, more than you realize. Your prayer life deepened. Your discernment sharpened. Your identity became less dependent on external confirmation. The quiet forced you to seek me, not for answers, but for presence. And that is maturity. Now look at you. You are not as reactive as you once were. You are not as insecure as you used to be. You are not as easily shaken. The silence built stability. Chosen one. Stop interpreting quiet seasons as rejection. Stop assuming delay means denial. What you called silence was sacred construction. I was preparing you for something bigger than your current understanding. Something heavier than your old mindset. something brighter than your previous vision. And when I speak again, it will not be a whisper of comfort. It will be a call to rise. Because the silence of God was never punishment. It was preparation for the moment you stepped fully into who you were always meant to become. Chosen one, look at what tried to break you. The pressure, the betrayal, the sudden losses, the attacks that came out of nowhere. It wasn't random. It was recognition. What tried to break you was proof that you are spiritually marked. Marked for purpose, marked for influence, marked for impact that stretches beyond what you can currently see. The weight you carried was not normal. The resistance you felt was not ordinary. The intensity of the storms around you did not match your mistakes. You kept asking, why is it always this hard for me? Because you are not ordinary. There is something on your life that disrupts darkness. There is a calling on you that threatens complacency. There is a future attached to you that shifts atmospheres. And when something is marked by me, it becomes a target before it becomes a testimony. The attacks were not confirmation of weakness. They were confirmation of worth. No one tries to steal what has no value. No one tries to silence what carries no power. No one fights against what poses no threat. You were fought because you matter. Think about it. Why did opposition rise the moment you started growing? Why did confusion intensify when clarity was near? Why did discouragement whisper the loudest when breakthrough was closest? Because the enemy sensed your shift. But here's what you need to understand. The mark on your life is greater than the attacks against it. You bent, but you did not break. You cried, but you did not quit. You questioned, but you did not walk away. That resilience is not accidental. It is evidence. Evidence that I have placed endurance inside of you. Evidence that grace has been carrying you. Evidence that protection has surrounded you even when you couldn't see it. The storms revealed your strength. The fire revealed your purity. The battle revealed your authority. What was meant to crush you trained you. What was meant to humiliate you humbled you in the right way. What was meant to stop you strengthened your stride. You are still standing after everything, still believing, still fighting, still hoping. That is not weakness, that is marking. Chosen one. Stop viewing your scars as shame. They are signs of survival. Stop replaying the attack. Start recognizing the anointing it revealed. You are spiritually marked, and no attack can erase what I have written over your life. The pressure was loud, the pain was real, but your purpose is louder. And soon, the same battles that tried to define you will become the evidence that you were chosen, protected, and prepared for something far greater than anything that ever tried to break you, chosen one. There were moments you felt completely exposed. No defense, no backup, no explanation. It felt like the attack was public, like the betrayal was visible, like the pressure was too heavy to hide. You thought you were uncovered. You thought I had stepped aside. But even when you felt exposed, you were surrounded. Divine protection has been covering you in ways you could not see. You only saw what hit you. You did not see what I blocked. You cried over the door that closed. You never saw the danger behind the one that never opened. You grieved the opportunity you lost. You did not realize it would have drained the life out of you. You felt embarrassed by the rejection, but that rejection redirected you from hidden destruction. Protection does not always look like comfort. Sometimes it looks like delay. Sometimes it looks like isolation. Sometimes it looks like disappointment. But it is still protection. There were conversations about you that never reached you. Plans against you that never succeeded. Traps set for you that you unknowingly stepped around. You think you survived because you were strong. You survived because I covered you. When anxiety tried to consume your mind, I preserved your sanity. When accidents could have taken you out, I shifted timing by seconds you never noticed. When enemies tried to stain your name, I allowed truth to surface at the right moment. You felt vulnerable, but you were guarded. You felt alone, but you were shielded. You felt targeted, but you were untouchable beyond what I permitted. Do you remember the moments that should have destroyed you? The mistakes that should have cost you everything? The situations that could have ended your story? Yet here you are, breathing, growing, still called. That is not coincidence. That is covering. Protection is not the absence of battle. It is the presence of preservation. I did not promise you would never face storms. I promised they would not consume you. Every attack had limits. Every weapon had boundaries. Every trial had an expiration date. Because your life carries assignment, and what I have ordained cannot be erased by what opposes it. Chosen one, stop measuring my protection by how easy life feels. Measure it by the fact that you are still standing after everything that tried to take you down. The exposure you feared was never abandonment. It was training. I allowed you to feel the pressure, so you would learn to trust the covering. And as you step into your next season, you will walk with a different confidence. Not because attacks won't come, but because you now know, even when you feel exposed, you are covered, chosen one. They attacked you in private. Whispers behind closed doors, doubts spoken in quiet rooms, assumptions made when you were not present to defend yourself. They questioned your character. They underestimated your calling. They mistook your silence for weakness. And you carried it alone. You fought battles no one applauded. You endured criticism you never responded to. You stayed quiet while your name was mishandled. But hear me clearly. Your breakthrough will be so public that it will silence every private attack. The same mouths that whispered will go quiet. The same eyes that doubted will widen. The same people who misjudged you will struggle to explain your elevation. Because what I am about to do in your life will not need defending. It will speak for itself. You thought the hidden season meant you were losing. You thought the quiet obedience meant you were unseen. You thought enduring without retaliation meant you were falling behind. But I was documenting everything. Every tear, every sacrifice, every time you chose integrity over revenge. And I do not forget faithfulness. There is a difference between being overlooked and being positioned. You were being positioned. While they were plotting, I was preparing. While they were gossiping, I was growing you. While they were laughing, I was aligning doors that no rumor could close. Your elevation will not be subtle. It will be undeniable. Not because you seek validation, but because I am a God who restores publicly what was attacked privately. The attack tried to stain your reputation. The breakthrough will redefine it. The betrayal tried to weaken your confidence. The breakthrough will strengthen your authority. The isolation tried to make you invisible. The breakthrough will make your impact impossible to ignore. Chosen one, you will not have to argue with your critics. You will not have to chase explanations. You will not have to prove your worth. When I open the door, no whisper will matter. When I elevate you, no rumor will survive. When I establish you, no private attack will stand against the public evidence of my favor. And the beauty of it all, you will rise without bitterness, without arrogance, without revenge in your heart, because the breaking season matured you. The hidden tears watered your strength. The silent endurance built your foundation. So do not rush this moment. Do not lose heart now. The private attacks were loud, yes, but they were temporary. What is coming next will be visible. It will be undeniable. It will be lasting. Your breakthrough is not just relief. It is revelation. And when it happens, even those who fought you in secret will have to acknowledge that you were chosen all along, chosen one. Do you feel that? That strange shift in your spirit? That moment where your past pain starts making sense? That quiet realization that maybe, just maybe, nothing you suffered was wasted. I can feel your heart starting to wake up. Listen closely. Your pain was not punishment. Your suffering was not abandonment. Your tears were not evidence that you were forgotten. They were evidence that something inside you was being prepared for greatness you could not yet carry. There were weights placed on your life, not to crush you, but to strengthen your spiritual muscles. There were storms allowed to reach you, not to destroy you, but to teach you how to stand when everything around you was shaking. You were being trained in places where nobody was watching. You were being built in seasons where nobody was clapping. You were being shaped in silence while destiny was writing your name in places you could not yet see. Do you understand what this means? The heartbreak was preparation. The loneliness was preparation. The rejection was preparation. I was not absent in your struggle. I was in the struggle with you, holding you steady when your emotions wanted to collapse, protecting your mind when doubt tried to invade, guarding your purpose when fear tried to convince you that you were finished. There were moments when you thought you were barely surviving, but you were actually being conditioned to thrive under pressure. You learned strength that comfort could never teach you. You learned discernment that popularity could never give you. You learned endurance that easy success could never produce. And now something is stirring inside you. You are starting to feel it. That fire returning, that confidence rising, that quiet certainty that you are not here by accident. Destiny is not something you chase. It is something that wakes up inside you when preparation is complete. You survived things that were designed to make you quit. You kept believing when logic said you should give up. You kept hoping when circumstances said it was over. That was not stubbornness. That was destiny refusing to die inside you. Unseen protection was with you every step. There were dangers you never noticed, mistakes you almost made that were quietly redirected, doors that closed because what was behind them could have broken your future. And now the preparation season is reaching its climax. You are not broken. You are becoming. The pain that once confused you is now becoming your testimony. The struggles that once silenced you are now becoming your authority. The battles that once exhausted you are now becoming your strength. Because destiny is activating inside you right now. Feel that, rise with that, walk in that. You were not destroyed, you were prepared. And what is coming next will prove that every tear had purpose, and every battle was building the person you were always meant to be. Chosen one, stand up in your spirit right now. Look back at everything you survived. The rejection did not destroy you. The silence did not abandon you. The battles did not defeat you. You are still here, and that is the loudest testimony of all. I never left you. Not in your darkest night. Not in your quietest tears. Not in the moments you thought you were completely alone. I was there, holding you together when you felt like you were falling apart. Now the season is changing. Walk forward with courage. Walk forward with faith. Walk forward knowing your destiny is still alive and powerful. What tried to break you is about to bow to the strength I placed inside you. Rise again. Stand in your purpose. Your story is not over. It is just beginning to reveal my glory through your life. Go forward, chosen one. Victory is already written over your destiny.